So how far are y'all willing to go to become married? Would you go as far as finding a lookalike of your significant other, paying them to pretend to be your significant other, take them to the courthouse with your significant other's identification, and get married to the lookalike, but legal documents say you're now married to your significant other? I know that's a lot to unpack, but let's talk about it. Welcome back to the Mrs. Tony Two Times Show. I'm your host, Jaleesa, better known as Mrs. Tony Two Times. Thank you so much for joining me. Before I get into this, please subscribe and turn on those notifications so you never miss out on stories like this and other topics where we can discuss other people's problems while reflecting on ourselves, of course. Also, hit that like button to help us reach others and build our community. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, and I appreciate each and every one of you who have subscribed already. Thank you so much. Don't forget to share this video with everyone you know. Make sure you comment your thoughts as we dive right into this. But real quick, one more thing before I get started. I know it's been a couple of weeks since I posted. Please bear with me, fam. I hope to upload content more frequently, with the holidays and Christmas and being a wife and a mom, and it can get a little hectic. I also work on content for Tony Two Times TV. If you're not familiar, that is a channel where I do content with my husband. So I will leave the link to that down in the description box below if you want to check it out. I also have a pretty big life change taking place, so I'm preparing for that. But anyway, I just wanted to give you guys a quick update and say thank you to everyone who has been supporting me and tuning into my videos, liking my content, commenting, and all that good stuff. Okay. Enough of that. Let's get into this story. So I found this post on Facebook. Y'all, I'm always scrolling on Facebook and I come across the craziest things. This post was just starting to go viral when I stumbled upon it, and I thought it was so out there. It's something that I have never ever thought I would read. It was definitely in my top 3 things of the craziest things that I ever read. Now, I don't know how real this scenario is, but we're going to pretend that it is and help the sister out with the advice she is looking for. Okay, let me read it to you, and you can pause and read it for yourself too. So she says, story time. He doesn't know we're married. So we dated for about 2 years, and I decided I was ready to get married and settle down. About 3 years ago, he told me that he was saving up for a ring and that he wanted to surprise me with the proposal of my dreams. Lo and behold, a few months passed and still no proposal. I asked him when he planned on doing it, and he told me he had simply changed his mind. Why would he buy the cow when he is already getting the milk for free? I felt like he scammed me, and I was done letting men scam me. Fed up, so I decided to take matters into my own hands. I found a man on the internet who looked just like him, and while he was sleeping, I went ahead and took his ID along with his birth certificate. I offered his lookalike, who happened to be pretty much homeless, $1,000 to come to the courthouse with me, and we did the thing. We've been married now for almost 2 years, and I've never been happier. I am moving and behaving like a wife in every sense. I've been cooking every day, washing laundry, and taking care of my husband. He has complimented me many times on how amazing I am and how well I perform my duties as his lady. On Valentine's Day this year, he even decorated our room, and he had the word wife written with flowers. I thought, how ironic. Little does he know, I'm his wife. My question is, how do I tell him we are official now? Should I just hope that he changes his mind and eventually proposes on his own once he sees how amazing I am? We are past the 1 year mark, so I no longer have to worry about an annulment, which is great. We went on vacation about a week after our ceremony, and for me, it was our honeymoon. We've never been happier. I just really need him to be on board with all of this. He noticed I was wearing a ring on my ring finger, and I told him it was to keep other men away. He jokingly mentioned how good it looks. I'm tired of keeping my marriage a secret, and I feel like he has a right to know. Any advice appreciated? Okay, now y'all, let's take a moment to process what we just read. Read it again if you have to. First of all, is this not the craziest thing you've ever heard? Like, ma'am, what? Let's hear what some people had to say in the comments. This person said, "You going to jail, sis. Sadly, you self-incriminated yourself too. That screenshot committee is something serious." Somebody also said, "You're the real life nutty professor." And she commented, "I'm a real life married woman." Now, this person tried to give her some sound advice. They said, "Sweetheart, I hope this don't backfire on you and you end up going to jail because you basically married somebody who didn't give you okay to be married. He can press charges against you if he can prove that he was not there. You can get in trouble for something like this. I would have thought about it because if you got to make a man marry you, it's not worth it. My mother always told me, I'm not in the mood of keeping the man who don't want to be kept. I will just move on. It's not that serious, but I wish you the best." Man, if this is at all real life, like how did she really pull this off? And who is the guy, the lookalike that agreed to go through with her shenanigans? I'm trying to wrap my head around the mindset to even come up with a scheme like this. Like, is it really a legal marriage? If she does decide to tell him, what makes her think he'll stay? Like, just because the marriage can't get annulled, he can definitely still divorce you on the grounds of like deception and fraud. Like, I really don't know what advice to give her. Even if he proposes and doesn't find out they're already married, wouldn't he eventually find out? Like, the fact that I'm even racking my brain trying to figure this out is crazy. It's so outlandish. What do you guys think about this? What advice would you give her? Should she come clean? She says she's tired of living a lie and she wants her husband, quote unquote, to know that they're married. However, their so-called marriage is built on a complete lie. I don't know about this one, y'all. Well, it's time for you all to keep the conversation going. What are y'all thoughts on this overall situation? What advice would you give this woman? And what should be her next move? Do y'all even believe something like this is even possible to pull off in real life? What about the boyfriend, the guy, the so-called husband in the situation? How do you think he would react if she tells him? Let me know in the comments below. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Mrs. Tony Two Time Show. Crazy story. I'm your host, Jaleesa. I appreciate each and every one of you for watching and making it to the end. If you'd like to send me stories, whether it's your own personal story, I'll make sure to keep you anonymous, or stories you see online that you like to hear my commentary on, please send it to the email on the screen. I'll also leave the email in the description box below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll talk to y'all next time.